everybody. Hi, welcome in. So this is a little bit of fun and excitement for the day. So we'll see what's happening. We've had a couple of technical issues with Janice, but we can hear her at least if her camera doesn't work. So she doesn't need to panic. All right. First, obviously, you're all familiar with our young Enzo. There he is.
Hello.
So Enzo is here. And then, and I don't really need to say much about Enzo except that he's great and you all know him. Then we've got beautiful Mary Lynn, who is part of Sidekicks Paranormal. And we've got the crazy but Jerry from Wankelberg, Michael from Sidekicks Paranormal. And then we've got CL Thomas as well. She's in here as well, our lovely author and artist and photographer and many, many things. Podcaster, she does it all. And Janice. We'll see how Janice goes. Who knows? Bill might be able to get her up on the camera, but if not, we can still hear her beautiful voice. So it's all good. Just waiting on a couple of laggers to get here. Taylor will be here. She's currently at work, but the minute she finishes, she's coming on. Okay, so everybody, hello. Everybody can hear me? Everything okay?
Yes.
Janice is still talking to Bill, I think, trying to figure out.
Janice.
Oh, Janice. So let's see who's popped in to say hello.
I can hear you.
Yes, so long as you can hear me, Janice, it's all right. Tell Bill not to fuss too much. Everybody, I should try and move everybody out. You're kind of in the middle of that lovely photo behind us all. but everyone knows. Well, I hope everyone knows. I'm going to get everybody to sort of say a little bit about themselves anyway in a second. Right. So tell Bill to stop fussing, Janice. It's okay. All right? It's all right. We've got you. Right. Let's see who's popped in. Whore. How's that for a name, Michael? Whore of horror. But she doesn't mind being called whore. She's funny. And Betty, hello. Foxfire, Wisdom. Who else is here? Hopefully people start coming in a minute. Sky. Hi, Sky. Hi, Sky. Anyone who's lurking, hello, because I do know some people lurk. Who else have we got? That's Ian. Hello, Ian. Hello, Ian. Oh, look, Enzo's here as well. Imagine that. Adventures with Beth is here. Michael's just checking. All right, Dr. Deb, hello. All right.
I was just seeing who's working.
What was that?
I was looking for the workers.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure they're there, but then I'm not sure they're there. I hope they are. And it doesn't matter if anybody misses the. Excuse the snoring in the background. I have a Rottweiler who likes to snore. I think everyone who's familiar with me knows who the Rottweiler is. And of course, are you ready?
Dragon's lie there. That's.
Are you ready with the bell, Enzo?
Of course.
And he's on. So I can control him and he doesn't do anything naughty in the background regarding lifting a leg and my plants. Hi, probably not paranormal. Hello. Right. Okay. So as most of you know, the reason I'm doing this little live stream today is just to get most people familiar with who will be at the event in July 12th, 14th, the Magical History Weekend in Virginia City. I reckon, well, you all know Enzo and I will be there for sure because I'm the one that's running the event. And the whole idea behind the event is to let everybody know about the history of Virginia City in particular, try and get some true stories out there for you and get you interested in the fact that Virginia City is awesome anyway, and the history. And actually, I'll talk to Michael and Mary Lynn in a second, but they've just been there this weekend gone, wasn't it? You were there for an event. And they've done some filming there for their upcoming television show. Awesome. And they can in themselves tell you what they think of the city. But it's just an awesome place. And it's got all these hidden little things that you wouldn't think are there. I've had many people say to me, Virginia City, yeah, I went there one weekend, saw everything I could see, and I thought, you went there for one weekend. I've been there for a total, if you put all the times I've been there, for nearly 2 months of time that I've been to Virginia City and still haven't seen everything. So it's actually a lot to see there, and it's awesome. But anyway, Mary Lynn, do you want to talk, or do you want young Jerix von Wankelberg to talk first?
Young Jerix talk first.
So Michael,
he's the mouth of the group.
yeah. Michael can tell you what I would love to know actually what Michael thinks the weekend will be like and what he's looking forward to. I think I've given them all a pretty good rundown of what I'm putting together for the weekend. But what do you reckon, Michael? Are you looking forward to it, and why?
One, you had mentioned free baggies of cocaine, so that I was in right away. But that's off. Okay, never mind then. No, that's off the table. So what I'm the most
that's a big secret.
Right. What I'm the most excited for is honestly. So I've been there twice now, and it's one of those weird places where you find out that the people that live there, that work there, are almost more interesting than the town itself. Sometimes you just connect with them so well because they are so friendly, and you find yourself just attracted to, like, we ate at the same restaurants, we saw the same people, just because you're just magnetically attracted to just hanging out with the folk. You know what I mean? They're just so awesome. So I'm really excited to get back and meet some of the people that we've met before. Also, there's so much history, especially when you look at places like the Knights of Pythias. That place is just something else. And I didn't even get to the Mackey Mansion yet. I haven't seen it yet. I've been kind of holding off on that one, so I'll get a chance to see that. And I've already been there twice, and there's places I haven't even been able to venture into.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and so that alone is pretty incredible. And not 20 minutes down the road is literally the cleanest Walmart you will ever find in Carson City.
I love that Walmart.
It's so
my favorite Walmart.
So clean.
Is that your only Walmart there?
It is.
I love Walmart. I need to take an empty suitcase so when I go to Walmart I can get all the stuff we can't have here.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough of an advertisement for Walmart, but yes.
So I would say for me, that's, I'm really looking to reconnect with the people and honestly visit some of the places that I've already been to because they were so interesting. Even the story behind the mirrors is incredible there. You know what I mean? So, and that's just a mirror.
It's just a mirror, I know.
It's wild. So when you really put it all together, it's kind of like, it's like a Disneyland for people that like history and paranormal and just the Wild West in general. It really was kind of like I look at it like the twin sister or twin brother of Deadwood.
Yep.
That's really kind of what it was. It was this massive flash in the pan.
Yep.
And
although it was a mining town, so not necessarily a cowboy town, cowboys still came through it. But it was even just, you think about the history, and when you know that those boardwalks that you're walking upon underneath, you're guaranteed there's a mine shaft somewhere. Like that whole town is built on it, and you just. For me, I fall in love with it every time I go, and I just imagine, all that time ago, the streets were bustling with people with horses and carts, and the wild horses. I love my wild horses. Yeah, did you get to see any wild horses while you were there at all?
We did for the first time.
Yeah. What did you think of them, Mary Lynn? Did you like the horses?
Absolutely. Yeah, because we were driving out of town and we were at the last stop sign, I think it was. And then we look over and they're standing right there eating. So very pretty horses.
I had no idea horse wieners were like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
And And CL, CL lives in Las Vegas, but she also likes Virginia City. And but what do you reckon? And actually, it's so interesting how when I met CL, we were just talking about something else, and she said that, oh, I'd love to come along and whatever. And then I said, oh, and then I looked into what she does, and I went, oh my goodness, you're coming along, and you're going to be on the panel. So definitely you're coming. But she's awfully interesting. And but what are you looking forward to, do you think, for the weekend? Yeah.
Well, for me, Virginia City is very interesting. I've been there multiple times now. I just go there to hang out sometimes, but I spend a lot of time looking at ghost towns and out in the desert anyways. But Virginia City is one of those places, like you said, to locals. How many people have you met there that will tell you that they feel like they lived there in a past life? That's kind of what I feel like. And every time I go there, I connect with different spirits. I have a whole lot of EVPs and just different experiences that are just incredible. I don't even know how to talk about them half the time. So I'm really excited about coming back and connecting with some of the spirits there and seeing what else I can get into. And like Jerix, there's a lot of places I haven't gotten to see yet. I have done some ghost hunting out there, but there's some places I haven't gotten to get to either. So
yeah, and that's the thing with Virginia City. People think, oh, it's a tiny little city, you see everything in a weekend. You absolutely do not. It's and plus Gold Hill is and Silver City is just a stone's throw, like around the bend, and you're in Gold. Gold
I broke a sink in Gold Hill.
You what?
Nothing.
What did you do?
Nothing. I did nothing of the sort. I did. I broke a sink.
But yeah,
with my ass of all things.
Were you using it as a toilet?
It was a series of unfortunate events that led to me accidentally booty busting it off the wall.
Oh, listen.
I had bent over. I think I was trying to tie my shoe, or I was going to grab something. I didn't. We were in the miner's cabin at the Gold Hill Hotel, and you don't realize like just how close and everything's like at weird angles, right? Like nothing is like level. And I miscalculated with my 2 canned hams, and pow, off the wall it went.
Which toilet did you break? I've been there. Which one? The one in the little closet, or the one that's opposite the sink?
The opposite.
The one that's opposite
I broke the sink. The sink.
How did you do that?
I don't know, but I've got pictures.
Mary Lynn.
I actually fixed it. Phil and I fixed it.
You fixed the toilet.
Yeah, I stayed in the miner's cabin for 3 nights by myself. And the little ginger cat, you must have seen the ginger cat.
He stayed with us for about 2 days.
Yeah, I gave him lots of beef jerky and milk, so he liked me.
You tried to give him pepperoni, and he was like,
no, but he liked the beef jerky. So there you go. And well, Enzo, what do you want? What are you looking forward to with the weekend? Given you've never been to Virginia City, have you?
I've never been to Virginia City. I can't wait to hear about all the history around the place, because there's something, and we had talked about this before, just as Americans, there's a certain romanticism with like that old West style of living back then, where you kind of made your own fate in a lot of cases to do that. But I really,
very
really
short fate, but yes.
Sometimes some people's fate were certainly larger than others, but it depends if there was a sink involved. But there was. I certainly want to check out the mines. I come from a long history of dead coal miners in my family in West Virginia. I'd like to see what those highfalutin silver miners were up to in their mines. I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to. I'll take Enzo along, or even Michael will be there. Michael could even take Enzo along to one of them. It could be a boys' hangout, But
Yeah.
and us girls, us ladies, can just go somewhere like the Roasting House, my favourite coffee stop. I haven't got my little cup around.
We were there every day.
Yep.
Yeah, the Roasting House, and they're one of the sponsors at the event.
The Palace where I introduced you to the fried pickle chips?
Yes.
Their fryer was not working the entire time.
What? Oh, I know. Yes, when I was last in Virginia City and I met Michael, he came and answered my 5 haunting questions. I don't know whatever happened to that tape, but I don't.
I got it, but it's terrible. So
but
we
probably got all the wrong angles and stuff. But we had what are they called again? Deep fried
pickled chips, like pickles.
They look like.
I thought that was a Southern thing.
I don't know. I don't care where they come from. CL. I'm having.
It's a Southern.
It is a Southern thing, but they've got them.
Oh, but
it is Virginia City, right? So
hey,
well,
you could deep fry an old tire and I'd eat it. That's just fantastic.
They're ridiculously tasty, and I was very, very bummed.
Yes.
Oh,
fried pickles, fried green beans, stuff like that. Everything's better when it's deep fried.
Fried green tomatoes. I had some because I love that movie, by the by. If no one's seen a movie called, it's got a longer title than that, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. I believe that's the name of the movie I love. And when I first heard that name, and because I'd never been to America, I didn't know what fried green tomatoes were. I do now. No. I had fried green tomatoes. I love American food. That's why I go there as just one human and come back as two. Yes, and then it takes me months and months to control and get rid of the second lot of person that's attached themselves to me. Oh dear. So for the people watching, what we're doing, I'm still got to type out the itinerary, guys. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I've put so much into this weekend that I'm like, oh. So it will be an itinerary, but it will be subject to tweaking on the day. But I'll put in place what we've got to do. But basically dinner on both nights, and we're eating. So it's all taking place at the Piper's Opera House. So we arrive on the Friday afternoon, check in, do all the things we have to do, come for dinner 6 o'clock that night and have a yummy dinner in the Piper's. I'll probably, because of what I've done and how I've cram things in, I'll probably give a little talk on that night myself. Any one of you guys who also thinks that you might like to give a little talk on the Friday night, put your fingers up or your hands up or whatever you do, and no worries. But yeah. So Friday night, and then we finish about 9ish. That's the plan. And then one of the sponsors, which is Northern Nevada Ghost Hunters, has offered up for anybody interested. Now, you don't have to go, okay, but if you're interested and you want to go to the Donovan Mill, beg your pardon, which is in Silver City. You can go on down, and they're going to take groups. So it'll be a group thing, but going to take groups through the Donovan mine and do a little investigation. I wasn't going to put anything like that in there because I really wanted this to be about the history, but I got so many people asking, but what about? And I thought, so I caved. So you can all go to Donovan Mill if you want to on the Friday and the Saturday night. So either. Or you can just hang out with Enzo and myself or whoever. Mary Lynn might like to get drunk too. Who knows?
Put them away.
Yeah, we'll probably be in the Piper's Bar, the Piper Opera House bar that night. And then anyone else go off to the Donovan Mill. The Donovan Mill is awesome. I've been there during the day, and they're doing such great work. They're restoring it to what it used to be. They're even getting all the big, what are they called, crushers? The big machines that used to crush the ore. They're getting all those. There's one that works, and every now and then they put it on. So, yeah, they've got so anything that we do in regard to people going there, any monies that I put out there for that goes towards the resurrection. What'd you call it? The restoration. Resurrection. But yeah, then on the Saturday,
but you got to wait 3 days. It's
yeah, I know. And then I'll pop Janice in. Janice, are you there?
Hello, Janice.
I'm here.
She's working.
We can hear you.
Janice, do you want to tell everybody what you're looking forward to for that weekend, apart from seeing me and giving me a hug?
Oh, of course. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody and to meeting Enzo, CL, and Mary Lynn. No, I don't know von Workenberg or whatever.
No,
You
I
do.
don't.
I do, I know. Uh,
Yeah, you bet, Michael.
I'm just looking forward to. I think there'll be a wonderful time. To presenting history. I'm really excited. What I'm going to talk about is the connection between the women's movement and the spiritualist religion. I think that's a
Mm-hmm.
cool connection that often hasn't been looked at enough. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for people to meet all of you guys. All well, they know you, Karen, but I mean, for people in the city to meet others of history. I mean, paranormal, of course, but history. I'm excited for
Yeah.
that.
Yep. And that's where we were lucky to get. He's not here because he's not computer literate, but Joe Curtis. I don't know if you're familiar, CL. Do you know who Joe Curtis is?
I don't.
Um, Okay, he's a local man. He grew up. I think he was born there. He grew up there. His parents lived there, and he's the local historian, the go to, and he really does know so much. I think probably what he doesn't know isn't worth knowing. So he has agreed to come along and give a talk on the Saturday morning, and I'm so super excited, Janice, because he says that he's got notebooks and books and everything that his mother and
Mhm.
another little sort of group of ladies, or well, a committee of sorts, made up some ghost
Yeah.
stories to get people in. And so I'm interested to see if my um, gut instincts on the made up ones were courtesy of Joe's mother and the committee. So I'm super. So he's going to give a talk about that on the Saturday morning, which will be really awesome. Yeah. And then with Janice's talk, and then Taylor, who'll get here shortly. I'll give her another 10 minutes. She is working. She's going to give a talk on Lucius Beebe and the history. And people will go, "Who's that?" Well, you'll find out because he was an intricate part of the Virginia City history. He actually, would you say, Janice, that he was responsible for a lot of the celebrities coming in to
I
Virginia
would
City back in
say
the day?
definitely he was. I would say he's actually, it was funny because ironically, he wanted to keep Virginia City small and he didn't want all the tourists. But what he
Mm,
did is he uh, opened up the Enterprise, the territorial Enterprise newspaper that had been defunct, that Mark Twain got to start. He started reprinting it. And Bonanza, things like this, he was the reason people were coming. And when all the people started coming, he said, "Hey, I don't want any part of all these tourists," and packed up and went back to San Francisco. So yeah, he was definitely responsible for a resurgence in interest and tourism in Virginia
mm,
City.
mm. And for anybody watching, I'm going to go through all these lovely little people at the minute, but so because you might have just tuned in and think, who are these people? So Janice she's an author. She's written a lot of books. Too many. How many books have you written? Like, not too many. I mean, she's a full-on author. That's what she does. She's written books on haunted Nevada, uh, stories about Las Vegas, stories about California, like historically written the books, like not non-fiction. Non-fiction, no, not fiction, non-fiction. I can get it right. And her books, if you're interested, are available on Amazon. So go check her out. But the reason I'm intrigued with Janice is because of the research she does and the books that she writes and where she gets all this information and the things that Janice talks to me about. And I go, wow, I never knew that. And then you look it up and you go, yep, it's absolutely true. So I think everybody will love listening to Janice talk, not only about what she's going to, but get that time to meet her and ask her other questions. That'll be fantastic. Um, and then we've got CL. CL's just written a book as well. What's it called again, CL? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. Your
Dancing
Demon.
with Demons. It's
Yep.
called Dancing with Demons.
Yeah, and that's about her own personal journey. And no, she doesn't dance with the demon on a dance floor. Okay, it's the title. But and CL has investigated paranormal things. She likes the history around different things. So everybody here on this panel, although they're interested in paranormal, I think history is part and parcel. And I know that, here's another little person. I'll pop her in. Oh, there she is. She's all snappy. She's just got back from work. Taylor, hello, gorgeous. But yeah, and obviously Mary Lynn and Michael with their upcoming television program, when they go into places, they too want to know what the history is. There's no point going to investigate someone if you haven't got the real history of a place. It's very important when you're investigating because it can give you clues as to what you might be picking up and all that sort of thing. So we're very much into the history. And I don't think either one. Oh, well, Mary Lynn is an author. She's written books. What are your books, Mary Lynn?
Mine are actually fiction. So they are the paranormal, fantasy, romance, and kind of adult themed.
Oh,
50 Shades of Hey.
Whoa.
It sounds very Vegas-y.
It does, doesn't it? And Taylor, of course, is going to be there. Thank you, Taylor. Poor Taylor, she's just finished work. You look beautiful. So Taylor, do you want to tell everybody? I did tell them that you'll probably be talking about Lucius, and Janice and I just discussed how important he was back in the day at getting everybody interested in Virginia City, like, you know, the celebrity type thing and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, what are you looking forward to for this weekend when it comes up in July? What do you reckon? What are you going to do? What do you think? What are you looking forward to?
Oh, well, this is a Virginia City history lover's dream come true. You know, we have a lot of 3-day event weekends here, and some of them focus on our history. Some of them are carving their own niche in Virginia City's history in their own right. But we don't have events like this where it's all history the whole weekend long. And really, I love that you're incorporating some tours of our great historic sites, the train ride. I think it's going to be hard to pick a favorite, but I just love.
Oh, well, she loves it, guys.
You just love.
Train ride.
Yeah, you just frozen through.
Paralyzed with excitement. Yeah.
The train ride. So what I'm doing while Taylor's rejigging, so the Friday, as I said, dinner, that's meet and greet, talk to everybody. Saturday morning, the historical talks. I was getting to that before, and then I interrupted myself. What a shock. Then there's Saturday after we do all the historic talks, everyone goes off for lunch, and then we'll meet up, groups of us will meet up at the Mackey Mansion and the Fourth Ward School, and there's going to be a crossover of groups, you know, because there'll be a few of us. So you get a tour of the Fourth Ward School, and it's a little bit of its history within that tour. Then you'll get a tour of the Mackey Mansion as well, and some background into that, which I will also give you anyway through the weekend, so you're fully aware of the history of the Mackey Mansion. And then when that's done, everybody goes off again for a little toilet break and get changed for dinner. Yeah. All right? And then come back for dinner.
Don't break it.
Yeah, don't break it, Michael.
I know.
Michael broke the toilet at the miners' cabin, but it's okay. Mary Lynn fixed it.
She did.
And then so Saturday, then we do all that, and this is what I mean. It's pretty chock full the weekend. But back to the Pipers for dinner at 6. We'll all eat our dinner. I believe Dustin and Dave will give their presentations on the Saturday night, followed by a panel. And again, if anybody wants to on the Saturday night, they can head off down to the Donovan Mill, or you can simply hang out with all of us and have fun after we stop at 9 o'clock. And the train ride, Mary Lynn, is Sunday. So Sunday morning, everybody wakes up, head on over to the roasting house for some breakfast and coffee on me, right? So everyone gets their free coffee. Mix, mingle, whatever. Then we make our way down to the train station. I think it's 10 o'clock. Could be 11. I've got to look again. And we're going for a big ride on the steam train. We've got the whole train booked. So we're going to go on a steam ride train, a steam ride a steam train ride. Oh, I can speak English. And we're going to have a ball. And then when we get back, it'll be around about 1 in the afternoon. And then that's where everybody can go their own way and do their own thing. It will be over. But yeah, it's Dustin Parry's birthday on the Friday when we're there, the 12th of July. So there will be cake. There will be birthday cake and happy birthday, son.
Making spankings.
Yeah. So before you were rudely frozen, was there anything else you wanted to talk about, Taylor?
Oh, well, did I miss a Karen rant?
No,
I need to be cut off if I was. Okay, good. So we still have some time. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, you've still got time. Well, you might get one if Dave and Dustin don't poke their head in here soon. They'll get a hey boys. But I'm sure they've, who knows? I am only a little fish in a big ocean, so I'm easily forgotten.
Oh, never. What are you talking about, Karen?
But I'm absolutely, I'm ecstatic.
Too, but my camera's not working.
Oh, it's all right. I can see you, Janice.
And your voice is so sexy, so it's fine.
Yeah. Janice,
the rest of us aren't as intimidated as we normally would be.
Right?
Yeah. Janice has met Michael, guys, when we were there November, wasn't it, Michael?
Yes, November
in Virginia City. Had a great time. Michael is a clown. He's a comedian and a clown, okay, people? So Michael was fun to be around, and he and Mary Lynn have got a very different take. Probably more like my take on it, really. A very different take on paranormal investigating. So rather than go in there and be all serious and shouting at the ghosts to do something and, whoa, make that go off. I'm sure you still did. You probably still said, can you do that? But they're more like the Three Stooges or the Two Stooges of paranormal, okay? So they go in there, and they investigate with respect. Like, they're not disrespectful. They don't go in there and make fun of anything, but keep it light. Keep it, hopefully entertain the spirits and make the spirit. I'm really looking forward, actually, to seeing your program when it airs. We have
a trailer. I don't know if you want.
Marilyn, can you share it here? Can you share it here? Share it here, and I'll
have Marilyn send it to you, and you can see our little teaser trailer. We'll let you guys.
I think Marilyn can just share it on the screen. I think she can just hit share and present.
But I am a firm believer that there's no reason to believe that if you liked humor, if you like to laugh, if you like to love, if you like those things in life, there's no reason to believe that you wouldn't like those things in unlife, right? It's just maybe your chances to interact with something humorous, maybe further and farther between. As it depends obviously in the state of which your circumstances lie, right? In other words, if you were brutally murdered and it was a very traumatic experience, you could very well be stuck in that incident, right? And at that point, it's really not a laughing matter, and maybe that's something that you really can't escape. However, it's possible that people linger, and because they just don't want to go anywhere else. Maybe they enjoyed the life that they had so much that they just don't see a point into hopping into another one or whatever comes next. So they stay. Maybe they get lost. I mean, we don't know, right? But I would believe that it's like they call it positive energy, right? You've heard that term, positive energy. There's still the energy part to that, right? So if a ghost feeds off of energy, if a spirit can feed off of energy, there's no reason to believe that it needs to be angry, it needs to be confrontational, it needs to be intimidational, that it could also be positive, happy.
Be your hero, baby.
There it is.
Oh, you scared me. Okay, you ready, guys? Watch this. Go, Mary Lynn, go. Watch this, guys.
I can be your hero, baby.
Damn it, Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike, and death sucks. I've had a couple of deaths in my family recently, and I want to know, what comes after this? Is there life after death? So I'm teaming up with Marilyn, a psychic slash paranormal investigator. And together, we're gonna check out some really awesome haunted locations. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find some of the answers that I'm looking for.
Mike really has a hard time paying attention. His mind is all over the place. Watch your step. Mike, you need to be careful. You need to know what's going on around you because you're going to hurt yourself.
What happened?
You just fell.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to have my hands full. Hey, what are you doing?
What?
Didn't we talk about that last night?
Yeah, I'm not as big on Friends as you are. I told you, I'm more of an office guy.
You're not supposed to be eating on investigations. Do that either before we come
Okay,
in.
well, hold on now. That was really more of a nibble.
Is he seriously eating right now?
How did you expect me not to eat? Do you know how hungry you get doing these investigations? Sometimes you just gotta snack. A man has to snack.
Mike. Could you not eat during the interview?
And that is Para with the normal.
Oh, how did
Well
I
done,
lose you?
sir. Well done.
Oh gosh, it looks like it'll be fun. That's what I mean. So there you go, guys. A bit of an exclusive there. I don't think has anyone else seen that trailer yet.
Just released.
Yep.
There you go, exclusive.
So the one thing with the show is it's not scripted, and it's something that I have to follow Mike wherever he goes and whatever he decides to do. I have no clue what he's doing, so I just have to figure out and follow along.
And I like that it's not going to be scripted because you can tell when they are. You can. And it's kind of like, well, obviously, you know, and everyone will just have to watch to see if you actually found anything. But you know what? In my experience, most shows don't really find anything, but that's okay. It's all about the journey to try to find it.
And that's really what the show is about. It's about one idiot's journey to, learn more about life and what comes next. And, there are some pretty profound moments that, we've already kind of gone through that we filmed, and some pretty intense moments and some serious moments. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of silly moments too, but it is definitely overall, it is an adventure.
And it's unique and totally different than anything out there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think that's something we miss a lot with investigators. They're so keen on trying to pull evidence. They forget that it's about the experiences,
Exactly. And that was kind of my goal, was to say, look, a normal person can still go out and have this, this paranormal investigation and have a good time. You don't have to be a pro. You don't have to be TV Shane Pittman. Okay. You can go out there and you can, as a normal person, as an amateur, grab a couple pieces of gear, go out with your friends and have a good time and learn something. Respectively. Yes. Respectively.
Sure.
Yeah. Janice is having... Sorry, Janice is just having a hard time with her. She's apologising because we can't hear her. It's all right, Janice. The fact is that you showed up, and that's the important thing, and we did hear you before. So it's all right. She'll be right. Okay, and so go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to add in that I feel it's also important to kind of, there's nothing wrong with kind of poking fun at yourself a little bit along the way. That makes you more human. That makes the whole thing a little lighter, because we're talking about life after death. That's kind of a heavy topic for a lot of people. To go a little lighthearted, that is not a bad thing, I think.
And that's how I feel too. And I think I'm really looking forward to seeing them, and I'm looking forward to this weekend that's going to come up. And I hope the tickets sell, because I've just packed so much into everybody in Virginia City, Taylor will know, everyone that I've spoken to, like the local people, but Susan that runs the Nevada State Prison, like she's excited for the event. I've got the other sponsors that have come in, Sutro Tunnel, and it'll be so great. And don't forget, there'll be a little goodies bag. And my intention of the goodies bag, once I get to Virginia City, I'll go around and visit everybody anyway before the event and pick everything up. But my intention of the goodie bag, apart from giving everyone a little present, like little things in there, might get some Vegemite and some Tim Tams. And maybe even some chocolate.
We can donate some stuff for the little goodie bag as well.
Yeah, and there'll be all little trinkets in there. But I'm going to go and visit a few of the local people around town when I get there. The Roasting House is going to help out. There'll be little things in there that will direct you to different places you can go and eat, and hopefully some little bits and bobs for you to have fun with and remember the trip. And of course everybody also, CL, Michael, Mary Lynn, Janice, not Enzo. I don't think he's got anything to sell other than his body.
You never know.
And
he's got to make a living. Come on.
That's right.
And Sutro Tunnel, there'll be quite a few local people that will also be there with some tables set up selling their wares. So in regard to Mary Lynn and Michael, CL, Janice, Dave, Dustin, you'll be able to get their books or their trinkets and they'll sign them for you and things like that. And I opened it up to the locals as well. I am not charging the locals to have their table up. I know some people do that, but I won't, because it's the whole point of this weekend is to let everybody understand that Virginia City exists. It's fascinating. Come and visit it. So I'm promoting Virginia City. So in doing so, I want these people that are locals to come in and set up their little tables and show everybody what you can get when you come to Virginia City. So there'll be other things there as well, like local people with their wares to sell. So I'm kind of excited. It'll be. I hope I'm not making it sound better than it will be. I think I'm actually probably understating.
It's going to be amazing.
I think it's going to be really, really great. And as I say, for people who are, but I want to do a paranormal investigation, that's not what this weekend's about. But because of the ones that did ask, I did. Northern Nevada Ghost Hunters have provided the opportunity to go to the mill if you want to. But just to be clear, I won't be going to the mill. Others may. I mean, Michael might like to go up one night. Mary Lynn might like to go up one night to check it out. Of course, others may. Yeah, but just letting you know. There you go. Some money for you, apparently, Enzo. Yes, Vegemite and Tim Tams will be in the goodie bag, along with Cadbury chocolate.
I agree, Ian. That's an awfully weird combination to start with.
Yeah. Not together, I hope. Yeah.
She could have gone with like Boomerang and Foster's, but no.
Oh, not Foster's. Ew, not unless you.
Yeah, no, Foster's is like a generic. I don't drink beer, so I don't know.
And so I don't know, anybody that's here now, have you got any questions at all that you want to ask anybody here? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be about that particular weekend. It can be anything. But yeah, feel free to pop some questions if you have any. Oftentimes I ask that question, guys, and nobody asks a thing.
Yeah. So well, CL, actually, this is a good question for CL. Where do babies come from?
Oh.
There's this whole stork debate.
Well, you can read my book and find out.
Yeah. Or by the sounds of it, read one of Mary Lynn's books and find out.
That's right.
I did find out CL is also in Vegas, so we're definitely going to have to set up a time to have some coffee or a waffle. I don't know whatever you're into.
They don't have Waffle House, unfortunately.
I know. God. I can't tell you how devastating that is.
I like Waffle House too.
Love Waffle House.
How do you know about Waffle House?
I've been there. Yeah, when I was in America, I went.
You got the scars to prove it?
Right?
I've got the hat to prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Waffle House. You just can't go in there and ask for pancakes. They could get mad.
It's true. So
Yeah.
actually, I have a question for Taylor for folks that are visiting Virginia City for the first time. What's a don't miss while you're there that weekend for Virginia City?
Wow, well that's
sorry,
a good question. How's the connection doing?
Beautiful.
You're
Beautiful.
Okay, good.
You just sit there and look pretty, Taylor. You just sit there and look pretty.
Right.
Debbie wanted us to. She's obviously caught the Dr. Deb. Sorry. So this event is the 12th of July through to the 14th of July in Virginia City, Nevada. Tickets are available, and there will be, when I get off of here, and this goes to, there'll be a link to where you can get the tickets and all that sort of thing. So the 12th, around about 4:30 in the afternoon, 4:30 in the afternoon, people can come register for the event, get all their bits and bobs, their goodies bag, and then that's when the weekend will start, and it will finish approximately 1 to 2 p.m. on the Sunday. Chock full of things to do. So I've got to make sure it all fits. Otherwise, I might have to add an extra day in for nothing. But I'm sure we'll be right. So, so it's not a show that's going to premiere on the YouTube. It's an event. So it's an event that you can come along to and meet all these glorious people. And as for Mr. Dave Schrader and Mr. Dustin Perry, when I see them, I'll pop them over my knee and give them a good spanking. They were going to try to get here today, but obviously maybe they've forgotten or they're too busy, which is fine.
That's Mary Lynn's next book. It's
what's that? What's Mary Lynn's next book? Did I miss something?
I was going to say Dave and Dustin might like the spanking too much.
Oh, they might. Well, I know
James Schrader's got like 92 kids. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know when I was speaking with Dustin last, he expressed his excitement at the not getting spanked, his excitement at the steam train ride, and he was actually going to leave, like basically after the Sunday morning he was going to take off and go home, but he's actually going to stay an extra couple of days because he wants to go and see a few things and he's desperate to get on the train. So there you go.
Taylor, where do you work, Taylor, and why do you look so exquisite?
Yeah.
It's only because Jan.
She's she's stuck at you.
End on a cliffhanger.
So where does she work?
I work
Taylor. She's back.
I work at the historic Fourth Ward School Museum.
Okay.
And I also work at the Sutro Tunnel. Both are historic places here on the Comstock. That's what we call our general area, not region. And
the Sutro Tunnel, is that in the saloon?
No.
That's a different one.
No. You're going to go and visit the Sutro Tunnel, young man.
That's right.
I'll take you right there.
Yes.
Yeah. It's down in Dayton.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I have made an episode about the Sutro Tunnel on my channel if you want to find it, Michael. And
you gave it to me and I actually watched it. Now that I remember the name. It just took me a second to remember the name.
Oh, well, yeah. So that's really exciting, and I'm looking forward to going back down there. It's all right, Taylor. We'll get there. Last time I was there, Taylor took me there to meet an author who writes some historical novels. Well, off the top, I've gone blank. What's his name again, Taylor?
Bob.
Yep, the fellow I met. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, go for it.
Dennis Casanelli is his name. He's a longtime historian and great supporter of the tunnel and our local history.
Yeah, Dennis, that's it. And I went and I met with him. So I got my books and he signed my books. I've got that book, and they're available on the Sutro Tunnel webpage, aren't they, Taylor?
Yes, we're the only. The sutrotunnel.org is the only online supplier of Dennis Casanelli's history books, so you can get them there.
Yep. So pretty cool. And met him, and then I was allowed to walk inside. I think I'm allowed to say that, with the gates were opened, and Dennis and his family, myself and Taylor, we walked inside the tunnel, and wow, the work they're doing, it's just fascinating. So I think you've opened that up now. Huh? Pardon? Pardon, Enzo?
Is that where the lizard people were?
No, I'm sure the lizard people could live there because it's nice and dark and wet. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there it is. There's a photo of the Preserving the Past. Yeah, so these are other books that you can get on their site, and you can get, they're behind me somewhere. I'm not going to get up to get them, but I purchased myself some nails, some actual Sutro Tunnel nails that they can't use anymore because
somebody asked what was the tunnel used for. I'm going to answer this really quick.
Okay.
Richard Gere used it for gerbils.
Oh, oh my God!
To learn more about that, please check out.
Yeah.
I'll let Taylor. I know the answer because Taylor works for the Sutro Tunnel. She basically runs it, people. I'll let Taylor answer the question as to. And Ian, if you go onto my page under my videos, and you'll find a little video I did on the Sutro Tunnel, which will answer all of your questions. But for now, Taylor can answer it quickly. There you go.
Yeah, so the tunnel was primarily built to drain water out of our mines of Virginia City, and that was its primary function. But it also functioned like a early underground tube system. So you could hop on in and ride all the way 4 miles underground and pop up in Virginia City. So it was an early underground transportation system as well.
Yep, it's pretty awesome. I mean, that's it in a very little nutshell. But the history behind that is fascinating. I don't think, Taylor can correct me, I did do the thing. I couldn't find anybody that had died in the tunnel, deaths associated with the actual building of the tunnel. It's possible, but I actually couldn't research that. Plenty of deaths, obviously, in the town of Sutro at the time from just regular things, that people died of. But I don't know, am I wrong there, Taylor? Was there, because I couldn't find anything specific to a death taking place in the tunnel.
Yeah, it makes sense that you wouldn't. It's not really prevalent or very out there, but since you did that episode, we actually received an original book, a ledger book, where each week the superintendent of the tunnel wrote what happened that week. And in that book, this 4-year span, 1874-ish to 1878-ish, give or take, they did log 5 deaths, and they logged their names and what happened. So we have those 5 confirmed. And the going number is about approximately between 11 and 13, depending on the researcher.
And that's what we were discussing. I can't remember if I put that in the episode or if that's what I found out later. But you should send me those names, and I can do a homage to the people, look into who they were and what they did when they were alive. I'll see what I can find out.
That's very new. We just got that. So I'd be happy to send you their names.
Sorry, what was that, Michael?
Oh, I was just going to say, in 1878, I was negative 104 years old. Yeah.
I was a lot younger or older. I don't know, younger.
Older. Negative. I mean, that just shows you how long ago this was, people.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but yeah, and that's a point I make even with my channel and what I do, that I can, like, I made that episode about the Sutro, and at that time that I made it, that was it. Like, there was talk of certain amount of deaths, but there was nothing that I could find. There was nothing. And now, thankfully, someone's come forward with a historical document that shows it's all logged. How awesome. So things change. You can say, there's no evidence of that, but then somewhere along the line, someone can come up with something and you go, oh, cool, excellent. And then now, obviously, we know who these people were, and therefore, if we really wanted to, we could dig into who they were, see what we can find out on those people, and basically give their history. And I don't know, that's what I like to do, put a story to the human, not just the name. Like, you can all say Joe Bloggs broke whatever, but who was Joe Bloggs? Who were his kids? What did he do? Did he have a pet dog? I don't know. Bring them back to life for just a little while by telling their story. So that's awesome. I can't wait to see that, Taylor. I love it. Janice, can you still hear me, sweetheart?
What'd you say, Karen?
I said I love you. I said I love you, Janice. I was just going to say when Janice has got, which I touched on before, but Janice, when's your new book out, Janice? The new one that you sent it to the publisher, didn't you? Is it up for publishing? Like, is it in the print yet? The one
I'm
on
not
Washington.
sure. I'm not sure. I'm thinking they're not going to release it till next year.
Okay. So therefore, the latest book, which one's that? Because I've probably got a picture of it somewhere.
Nevada. It's Amazing Nevada.
Have I got that? Oh, I've only got this one sitting behind me at the moment, but I'm pretty sure I've got the Amazing Nevada book. I've got so many books. But yeah, look, see, Haunted Virginia City, and that's got a whole heap of like little stories and stuff in it, and it was signed for me by Janice. Hang on. Look, autographed. It's special. It'll be worth $1 million in 100 years.
Speaking of that, for everybody that is an author here, will you be bringing books that we can purchase and check out?
Yep, that's the whole point.
I'm bringing artwork too.
Yeah, see, I was going to bring some of her artwork and her books and Mary Lynn. Are you going? I've still got my F off spray. And I brought quite a few sprays from Michael when I was there in November. I've still got them. They're still on the shelf, but they'll be selling a whole heap of different sort of things that they do, merch and whatnot. And yes, and the Dave and Dustin will as well be bringing their things. So as I say, when you arrive on my intent is that when everybody arrives to register on the Friday afternoon, that most of these tables will be set up and right to go. Probably, I don't know, I'll let Michael and Mary Lynn and CL just decide, and Janice decide when they would like to be present to sell some of their stuff, if they would prefer to do that on the Saturday morning or if they would prefer to have the table set up, and if someone asks they can walk over. I'll leave that up to them.
Door to door, 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Everything that these guys have that's tangible that you might be interested in getting a copy of or looking at, yes, that's the whole idea, including the Sutro Tunnel. I'm assuming, hopefully, that you'll have a table set up, Taylor, where people can maybe buy some of those books from Dennis, maybe some nails if you want to take home an actual nail from the Sutro Tunnel. I don't know. Is there any left?
Right.
I don't know, but
yeah, we will. Bob and Nadine Hastings, who do spirited investigations, they're the people that run our paranormal tours on site at the Sutro Tunnel. They will be setting up a booth, and we'll have some Sutro merch there at their booth as well.
Yeah, so there'll be, and of course, everybody that's coming along to the full event, there'll be a few tickets there for the locals to come along, because I thought some of the locals might like to just listen to the little history talks that Joe, Janice, and Taylor give in the morning. But for those who are coming along to the full event, obviously you're going to have time to mingle with all of these wonderful people and ask them questions and that's the whole point. Mingle with everybody, have fun, ask questions, learn the history. And if you've got stories about, what about this ghost or that ghost, feel free to ask, even though it's not technically a paranormal thing. I think everybody here knows my passion on telling the truth and how annoyed I get when I find out that certain stories are complete rubbish. They have their place. The made-up stories have their place in, I don't know what you call, like legend, but ultimately fiction. I would prefer fiction. Yeah, I would prefer that everybody learn who really was there.
Our talk will revolve a lot around that specifically.
Yep. Yeah, and I think given now that Mary Lynn and Michael have been doing their episodes, filming them, etc., they more than anybody will probably know that when you go into a place, you are told stories, and if you investigate down that road with the made-up stories, you're kind of kicking yourself in the ass, because you could be missing out on actual evidence that's in line with the true happenings of a place. Who's that?
So, and what I do too is whenever I go in, I try to go in not knowing any history. And
I don't know. Is it Janice? Oh, it's CL. Oh, right. You're fired, CL.
So I'll try to go in with no history at all and just figure out what I'm picking up on and get names and things like that. So,
and that's the best way to do it too. You're not influenced by someone else's tall tale.
That's true. Yeah, if it's a tall tale. But if you've done your research and you know the absolute truth, you've done your research, you absolutely know the name of someone who died in that location, there's no harm in knowing their name or how they died there.
For me, it is. Yeah,
for you, it is.
I just don't want to know because it's whatever I'm getting psychically, mediumship wise. I need to be able to pick that up from the location. So that's where Phil is our historian, and he goes in and gets all the details. And then after we do our investigation and after we film, we all come together and kind of talk about it and say, well, this is what you actually picked up on, and this is where the variation of the name that I picked up on, this is what it actually
was.
So
that's cool. That's good. And but I'm wondering, I don't know, do you go in, both of you don't know the real history, or does one of you go in knowing and then the other doesn't? Like, how do you approach that?
I might know some, but due to the way the show is kind of configured, I am an idiot. So I really have to make sure that my knowledge base is
limited.
Limited, right? So, and that's really good because a lot of times in the way that our show kind of goes, a lot of the information is kind of revealed after the fact. So it's really kind of a cool way that we have it set up. So you kind of get to kind of learn with me in a way. Which is great because I will tell you 9 out of 10 times I'm probably wrong. But there's that one time that I might accidentally be right. You never know. But usually, like, if you want to go like outside of the show from what you'll actually physically watch to the actual production side, some research is put in by myself. To learn a little bit about the location. I usually don't try to delve too deep, but I do want to know at least the basics. Why do people say it's haunted? How long has it been around? Who's curator? Just kind of the main points that I can hit on.
Yeah.
So I can kind of go in with at least some information for us to go off of.
It's interesting. From when I have been to places, and you were with me, Michael, in some of these places, but now I've done, like, for example, the Washoe Club. I did a deep dive on that, so I've got that down pat. Right, I know what is BS, and I know I'm right. But at the time that we went there, I had a vague idea, but not the full. I hadn't done the full research. What I found, I was embarrassed for some of the people that were there and said they were mediums and empaths, and then they would start telling a story about a particular lady that they had spoken to in the Washoe Club, and she's this and that, and I thought, and now looking back on it, I'm like, oh my God, that story's not even real.
Here's the interesting thing about that this is going to kind of blow your mind out. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, and that is the absolute power of manifestation. Okay. So though that person may not have actually existed, enough people have brought it into being that there's enough energy there to basically create a story, right? And you have to look at it from a medium's point of view. A medium's point of view isn't to be right. A medium's point of view is to pick up on the energy, right? Yeah. So it puts a medium into a very weird position by not knowing the true history of a location, especially someplace that's been visited over and over again, and it's like a game of telephone, right? So the more awkward and weird or strange the story can become. I'm sure C.L. Thomas and Janice Oberding, they can testify to that too. So it's it's tough. I think it's hard. It's hard being a pimp or a medium in this case. You know.
Oh, Mary Lynn, how do you do it? And look,
I just roll my eyes and keep going.
Yeah, I
Right.
suppose when you put it that way, that because that is how a medium works, picks up on energies and stuff. But and yeah, I suppose. But you know, actually, Mary Lynn or CL, if you go to a place and someone says X person died in here, and it's not true, right? It's not a true story, but you're told, or you know in the back of your mind, and then you feel that you've spoken to somebody, and oh gosh, they are here, like that is them. But then later on you find out that, oh, hang on, no, that never happened. Do you then think, oh, did I actually pick up on somebody else? But because I knew that story, I was thinking it was that story. Like, oh my God, I've missed it because that was someone else trying to talk to me, and I thought it was, you know, the girl in the bathtub, for example. Like, oh my God, what have I done? Because I just wondered how then yourself, how do you think about that later? Does that affect you in any way? Like, do you feel like kicking yourself in the leg and going back and trying to talk to that person again and get who it was? Or do you think it's just the energies of, like Michael's talking, like that manifestation?
I think it depends on where you are and what the situation is. Like when I look at cases like Robert the doll, for instance, all of the stuff that's been said about that doll is not correct. He was everything about the doll is false. The doll itself, I spent a night with this doll. It is not haunted.
Oh, you kinky lady.
But everybody picks up on stuff from this doll. It's the energy they're leaving with this doll. You know, so I was picking up more from the building that he's housed in than from the doll.
Yeah, I often find too. Do you find that,
So-
Mary Lynn?
Yes.
Maybe more from the energy of the actual building itself, what it holds in its walls?
Yeah, it's because people, when they come in, they bring that energy. So CL could be sitting right next to me and we're looking at the same thing. And I see something a certain way. She's going to see it totally different because it's our personal interpretations. And we may hear the same thing, but I will hear a different word than what she does. So that comes to your personal beliefs and just how you pick up on things and then how you see stuff. But for me, there's energy everywhere all the time, and you manifest. You can, like Mike was saying, you can bring those stories to life if you keep talking about those. You manifest it. That's how you get poltergeist, you know, just different things like that. So the energy is always there.
Yeah, it's pretty
Bell Witch
fascinating.
Cave is a really good example of that as well.
What was that, CL? What was?
The Bell Witch Cave.
Yes.
Oh,
That place, it really is haunted, but it's from everybody bringing stuff in.
Yeah.
Right.
And leaving it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to investigate with different groups, go to the same location. I used to do the Pioneer Saloon out in Las Vegas, Good Springs. I had the lockdowns out there. Every night we would have different groups of people do the same thing, but you would get different interactions each time because they bring people with them. They're going to bring and pull people that are not normally there, but then they also get people that are there to interact as well. So those different groups are going to bring those different energies.
And I once lost a banana for 3 weeks. It turns out it was in my backpack the whole time.
Oh, back. I wasn't expecting the
It was
back
black
part
and
of it.
mushy. It was not edible at that point.
Yeah.
Hey guys, well, I'm just going to thank CL because she needs to go. She has an urgent meeting to attend, and it's been.
The
Thank you.
neighbors
for
are
taking
complaining
the
about
time.
how loud her phone is.
Yeah, thank
Sorry,
you.
guys.
I knew CL was.
Find us on Facebook.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Michael Galliano, not Jarex von Winkleberg.
I
don't
know the
look between
searchers too, so if I can't find you, I'll ask Josh.
That's all right. I'll send it to you, CL.
Josh will hook you up.
Okay.
He'll warn you first, but he'll hook you up.
Thank you, guys.
See you, sweetheart. Bye.
Bye.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So no, that's the thing about mediumship and everything, that when you think about it, actually, it must be very hard because like you say, different people come along to a ghost event, to find something, but those people might bring luggage with them. So they come in looking
Everyone
for the
does.
99.
and meanwhile on their shoulder is grandpa or nana or mum or dad who's like, what's going on, So, I never thought of it that way, to be honest. So that's an interesting point.
Yep.
It's a very interesting point, because you don't know. You don't know who you're picking up. Yeah. Bit like, yeah. But, well, listen, guys, I don't know. Do we need to, have I missed anything we should discuss, Enzo, do you think?
We've really covered it, I feel.
I think we've covered it
Are we going to do
all.
this again, maybe in another month or so, or talk about it a little bit more?
Well, I don't know. I've got, for those interested, the tickets are for sale, and when this goes, when this uploads and you can do the rewatch on this, I will in this. But I'm thinking, where are we now? We're at the end of April, nearly May. So the tickets the tickets will be on sale until the 30th of May, because that's when I've got to make my decision as to whether or not. I hope this is going to go ahead, but that's when I'm going to make my decision, because obviously if the tickets don't sell, I can't afford nearly $25,000. So that's how much this event is costing to put on. It's pretty jam-packed. It's a pretty expensive thing, but it's fine if everybody buys a ticket and comes along. And actually, it's pretty good value for money too, I reckon. I don't know. What do you think, Taylor? I think you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
What are you charging per ticket, and how do you get tickets?
Well, I'll put the link to the tickets for the sale. And I haven't looked for a while. I think it's $275 per ticket for the VIP experience. There's only about 10 local tickets, but the local tickets are honestly just for the locals to come along if they want to and have a bit of a look. Retrospectively,
for 3 days plus meals, a couple meals in there, and a bunch of other things, trips and things like that in the local area, that's actually a pretty good deal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it is. Like, so for the $275, you get your meals on the Friday and Saturday night. You get your little goodie bag that should have and will have some vouchers and things like that you can utilize in the town while you're there. Because that's my idea too, to promote the local stores, the local restaurants, and the people that have obviously helped me out by being sponsors and getting the event out there for people to see. So yeah, it'll be jam packed. Like, I don't think you'll have time. Oh, well, you will have time to scratch yourself and go to the toilet, okay, and shower. And it's not running too late, so you'll absolutely be able to get a good night's sleep if you want to. And if you do want to hang out with everybody after the event finishes around about 9 o'clock, if you are not interested in going down to the Donovan Mill to do the ghosty thing, I will be. I mean, some others might go down and have a look at that. They're all welcome to, but I'll certainly be staying in town. I'll probably head up to the Red Dog, I think. Taylor, what do you reckon? Red Dog is a great place to hang out. Or I might even do the karaoke on the Friday night. What's the name of the place where they do the karaoke, Taylor?
What are we talking
about? The Ponderosa.
The Ponderosa, yeah. I haven't been to they do a karaoke on a Friday night, and I would love to go and have some karaoke.
Sing everything like Haas would sing it.
Yeah. So it's up to everybody how they utilize their time after 9 p.m. on the Friday and Saturday night. You can either hang with us at one of the places, karaoke, the Red Dog, have fun and just hang out. You can go up to the Donovan Mill if you like and take the opportunity to see what that place is like in the nighttime. But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. So fingers crossed that the tickets all sell and it goes ahead. We'll know by the 30th of May. I did sell a couple of tickets yesterday, guys, extra. So there you go, Butte. We're getting there. But yeah, it's certainly value for money, and you'll get to meet everybody in Virginia City, not just these guys, but all the local people. Like, actually, Mary Lynn and Jerix von Wankelberg I was so touched. They went to the Roasting House Cafe or coffee shop, where I go every morning when I'm there. Every morning without fail, I'm at that at that coffee shop for my mocha with cream on top. And when they were there, I had sent the girls there at the cafe. I sent them some Vegemite that they could give to people if they wanted to try it on toast. I don't know. Did you try it?
Yeah.
Some did like it.
They didn't have any when we were there.
Oh, they'd already used it.
They used it, yep.
I'll have to take more with me. That means it must have been popular.
Those horses have not come back. It's
that's not fair. But yeah, I think you'll I think you'll get a lot out of the weekend.
They have your postcard up there on display as well.
Oh, do they? Beautiful. Yep. Did they also have my little drawing of the kangaroo at
Yes.
I drew them a picture of a kangaroo in front of Ayers Rock. So they popped out.
Have you talked to them recently?
2 days ago, I think. Why?
Do they talk about how incredibly handsome I was, or
well, actually,
did that come up organically, or like how did that?
Yes, look,
that was over on the wanted poster side.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. On the milk carton.
Be on the lookout.
Michael, yes, they did talk about how handsome you were.
Great.
And I reminded them that you are a married man.
I very much so, yes.
So it doesn't matter how handsome you are.
Yes. It definitely does, okay? It still matters, okay? Really handsome lives matter, okay?
Yep. The only eye candy that is available for hire for the weekend, I'm afraid, is Enzo.
Yeah, buddy.
I suppose Enzo can go out and you can be his, what do they call it?
Wingman.
Wingman. You can be
Everybody
the wingman.
needs a wingman. Yeah.
Everyone needs a wingman, and Enzo will be all sorted. It's not that kind of weekend, guys.
Oh.
But yeah, so we'll see how we go, and I'm looking forward. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who showed up today. And as I say, Dustin and Dave will both be getting a huge spanking when I see them.
Good.
I'll make them feel so bad. But I do know, I'm not sure where Dustin is tonight, but I do know that he did have a show on, I believe. And Dave, I can't remember what he said he was doing, but he was doing something and he was going to give me 10 minutes, but he's forgotten. So we'll have to smack them all right? Let's make him feel really guilty. Janice, send Dave a message and say he should feel really guilty for not showing up. I'm mean. I'm not really. I'm mean. So thank you, everybody, and to everybody watching. When this uploads to the YouTube is being set there solid, I will put links to where you can get tickets. And even if you can't get tickets because you just can't, maybe you could share out this live and so other people can see it and hopefully realise the event is on in Virginia City, Nevada, USA, July 12th to the 14th, the Magical History Weekend with these wonderful people. So I'll see you later, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.